Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel and do subscribe the channel to see all the videos related to production function. In this video, we will clear the law of diminishing returns to a factor. And let us start the concept with the help of a schedule. Number 1, units of fixed factor. Number 2, units of variable factor. Number 3, total production. Number 4, marginal production. We know that labor is a fixed factor, land is a fixed factor and labor is a variable factor. So land is fixed, labor is variable, and total production, which is 6, 10, 12, 12, 10, and marginal production, change in total production divided by change in quantity. First unit is 6, 10 or 6, change occurs 4, here change occurs 2, here change occurs 0, then minus 2. So here I am preparing a diminishing returns to a factor and also negative 0 or negative returns. So this represents diminishing returns to a factor, and this ultimately 0 or minus 2 represents 0 or negative returns to a factor. And now let us write down the meaning of diminishing returns to a factor as more and more units of a variable factor are combined with some fixed factors, then after a limit, if you are increasing more and more variable factor, if you are increasing more and more of a variable factor, then total production starts increasing at a diminishing rate. And MP also diminishes. More and more units of a variable factor are combined with some fixed factor. Then after a limit, up to a limit, this is all right. But after a limit, if you are increasing more and more units of a variable factor, then ultimately instead of increasing total production will be diminishes and marginal production will also starts diminishing. Let us explain the concept with the help of a diagram also. Let us start the diagram. Two diagrams I am preparing, first for total production and another for marginal production. Units of output, units of a variable factor you can also write down. Here we are taking total production and in this diagram we are taking marginal production. So the units of output, there are 4 units of output, and here I am taking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And ultimately last one is 12. So I am preparing first of all total production. At first level of output, total production is 6. At second level of output, it is 10. At third level of output, it is 12. At fourth level of output, it is also 12. And lastly, it is at fifth level of output, total production is 10. While joining all these points, we get total production curve. So up to fourth level of output, total production curve is within second stage of production, and ultimately, as well as it starts diminishing, it will reach the third stage of production. And now let us prepare marginal production. At first level of output, marginal production is 6. At second level of output, marginal production is 4. At third level of output, marginal production is 2. Fourth level of output, marginal production is 0. And we have to prepare negative returns also. So negative below x-axis. And here at fifth level of output, production is -2. And while joining all these points, we will get left to right downward sloping marginal production curve. And this represents here at fourth level of output, marginal production is 0. At fifth level of output, marginal production becomes negative. And before fourth level of output, marginal production is positive. So until marginal production is positive, it means here this is the second stage and this is third stage of production. We have already cleared the law of variable proportion in my previous video. So a rational producer whose target is maximum profit, maximization of profit. Main target of producer's equilibrium is maximization of profit. Then he will produce goods up to he should produce goods up to second stage of production. But if he produce beyond this production level, in third stage, as well as he enter in third stage, he will get negative returns. It means he will bear losses there. So this is not a ideal stage of production. Ideal stage of production is second stage. This is ideal stage of production. And now let us see which are the causes of operation of diminishing returns to a factor. Number 1, fixity of factors of production. This is fixity of factors of production is the main cause of diminishing returns, because the fixed factor as machine is fixed and the variable factor there can't be any and there we can say there will be overutilization of fixed factor. That is the main cause of overutilization, is the main cause of fixity of factors of production. Second cause is poor coordination between fixed or variable factor. It means coordination, they can't put a better coordination fixed between fixed or variable factor, so that total production starts diminishing and marginal production also diminishes. Then third point is imperfect substitutes. Imperfect substitute means always the variable factor which we assume to be labor, that can't be a proper substitute of capital. So that's why total production starts diminishing and ultimately marginal production will also diminishes. So there in the third cause of diminishing returns to a factor, they can't make a relationship between fixed factor or variable factor. That's why total production diminishes and marginal production will also diminishes. So a rational consumer will always try to produce the goods within second stage of production up to marginal production is constant. As well as the producer enters third stage of production, he definitely stop his production, because here in this stage, in the third stage, the producer will bear losses. So that's all regarding the diminishing returns to a factor. Do subscribe the channel to see more videos related to production function. Thank you.